Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for my continued followers, I want to thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyeballs and your ears to some of the things that are taking place in our cities, states, country, and sometimes in our world. And mental illness and the opioid crisis and homelessness are some of the top pillars that are tearing down the moral and ethical fabric of our society. And I try to enlighten and bring a certain level of consciousness to the things that are going on and how people are suffering today. And I want to give you a story straight out of Florida. Florida woman, 33, is arrested for loitering around H&R Block trying to sell her daughter to a stranger for $500. I know. Then abandon the bruised toddler. A Florida woman has been arrested for trying to sell her daughter for $500 outside a local store, and then abandoning the child when confronted by an employee. Police say Jessica Woods, 33, was loitering around H&R Block office in Palatka with her 18-month-old daughter who had a bruise on her face on March 5th. An employee of the business told police that Woods had first come into the establishment at 7:40 p.m. one evening because her daughter had a soiled diaper. As Woods used the H&R Block restroom to change the child, the worker witnessed the mother hit her daughter with her elbow and then spank her. Terrible. According to a probable cause affidavit seen by DailyMail.com. The next morning, the witness arrived back at the office and found Woods sleeping on top of the outside air conditioning unit, and the 18-month-old was sleeping near her in a shopping cart without a blanket. The employee confronted the mother and asked if she or the child needed any help. The affidavit said. Woods demanded money, and when the employee said she would buy her items but not cough up cash, Woods became enraged and threw her child. Later in the day, around 2 p.m., the witness said Woods crossed the busy street and went over to talk with her. She put the baby down on the ground near some grass. The 18-month-old began to crawl towards a busy road, the police document stated. The worker picked up the baby, and it was at this point that Woods allegedly offered to sell her daughter for $500. Man, this is so disheartening. According to the affidavit, the woman said she would not give her any money. Woods then replied, "You can have the B." When the employee refused to buy the toddler, Woods walked away and abandoned her child. The worker took the child into H&R Block and cleaned her up. Jessica did not return to take custody of the child, the affidavit read. The employee took the 18-month-old to the Palatka Police Department and told them what happened. According to the Palatka Police Department, Woods is known to have frequented the area. Officers in the department's victims advocate provided care to the child until the Department of Children and Family Services took custody of her. The child has since been placed in foster care. Woods has been charged with child abuse, child neglect, abandonment of a child, and selling a minor for money. Disheartening. She was located and arrested on March 7th and transported to the Putnam County Jail. Her bond was initially set at $255,000, and court documents appear to show she was ordered to have no contact with her victim. "Praying for this mother and especially that baby," said a user named Charlotte Blackcherry on the police department's Facebook post. Frances Burley Bradshaw said, "Thank goodness for good people in taking the child to the police." I had to bring this story up because I have 3 adult children. And as I say to you all the time, there are 7 or 8 pillars that are tearing down the moral fabric and ethical fabric of our society that I think our U.S. government is ignoring while they're trying to influx all of this migrant sanctuary cities and migrant influx to places like Chicago, New York, California, Arizona, Atlanta, and places that want to be a sanctuary city that are mostly blue states that are tearing down those cities. Chicago has a plethora of problems: gun violence, opioid addiction, drug trafficking, human trafficking. There's a 50% vacancy rate in their commercial real estate down at the Magnificent Mile due to shoplifting, extreme shoplifting and looting. New York has the same issue with Mayor Adams. Recently, 3 individuals went into a Gucci store in broad daylight, 12 noon, and stole over $50,000 worth of goods. They have bail reform. The state of Illinois has a safety act where people who commit minor infractions and criminal activity can get out under their own recognizance, and then they're supposed to show up to court 30 days later to see if they're going to get convicted or put on probation. What criminal is going to show up to court voluntarily to see what their status and the end result would be in a court hearing, especially when they've been caught doing something wrong? It's ridiculous. These liberal laws have devastated our public safety and our comfort zone in America today. And Governor Gavin Newsom, LA County has bail reform also, where people can get out of their own recognizance. And it is decimating the entire state of California. Oakland had defund the police, and they are robbing and looting in Oakland and San Francisco like nobody's business. You can steal $900 worth of merchandise a day and not get detained by a security guard, let alone the police. They have had scenarios in New York City where individuals, there's a man in particular who committed shoplifting and looting over 100 times in a year, got arrested and got out on his own the same day. Where are we at on trying to curb shoplifting, looting, violence, property damage, gun violence? And these liberal laws are decimating our country. And you're seeing it in individual states, but it may become federal at some point. We need to attack the opioid crisis with fentanyl, with Finney and all of these other meth, heroin, crack, that is decimating our citizenship, devaluing human beings' humanity and their hopefulness, and it could be stopped at any moment. And this is disturbing and distracting, and I created this YouTube channel to talk about these issues that is killing our future. It's killing us today, and we're going to lose an entire generation of folks. This young lady in Florida, evidently she has an opioid issue. She has mental health issues. So mental health, opioid crisis, homelessness, hopelessness, joblessness, inept inner city public schools, gun violence have all started to denigrate our entire moral fabric for our society. And the writing is on the wall, and we need to do something about it. This scenario with this young lady, Miss Woods, trying to sell her kid in front of a H&R Block is just heinous and terrible. Tell me what you think. about this young lady. This is a Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth.